Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass was released physically in multiple formats. The most recent one was a re-release of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe with the Booster Course Pass included on the same game card, except Wave 6, which requires a download because of course it does, but previously it was released on both a simple card with the download code, and a boxed version which also only contains a download code. I have this unopened Hong Kong copy because, I don't know, I thought it would be funny to have. R.O.B the robot is controlled by receiving different patterns of light flashes on a CRT television screen. For example, there are commands for turning his arms left and right, opening and closing his hands, etc. However, there is one unused command that normally cannot be issued in both Gyromite or StackUp, the only games R.O.B officially supported. Using a homebrew tool that can issue all valid R.O.B commands, we can see that it essentially performs a reset for R.O.B, where he will move his arms to the upper right corner then recenter them, the same as what would happen when you normally turn him on for the first time. In Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius for the Game Boy Advance, the tutorial signs that show button prompts use a photo of a Game Boy Advance model from Space World 2000, featuring a silver and teal color scheme that was never officially released. In the IQ Player version of Super Mario 64, the record screen in the File Select menu is expanded into 2 pages instead of only 1 page like in the other versions, as the larger Chinese characters take up more space on the screen. You scroll through the pages using the L and R buttons rather than the Z button, which makes this the only version of the original Mario 64 to give a function to the L button. In Ring Fit Adventure on the Switch, you can activate multitask mode by connecting the right Joy-Con to the Ring-Con and pressing in the thumbstick. This allows ring presses and pulls on the Ring-Con to be recorded while away from the Switch, so they can be saved onto your profile as a bonus the next time you start the game. That's actually not the useless trivia bit. It's the fact that this also works with a left Joy-Con inserted into the Ring-Con backwards, even though it would normally be impossible to use a left Joy-Con to play Ring Fit Adventure. Nintendo's third-party developer website was originally launched in 1997 as WarioWorld.com and provided developer support for the N64 and Game Boy Color all the way up to the early years of the Wii U, until it was replaced by the Nintendo Developer Portal at developer.nintendo.com in 2016. The reason for why this site was named Wario World has never been known, as it predates the GameCube game Wario World as well as Wario's association with game making in the WarioWare series by 6 whole years. This is one of the GameCube Soft E catalog discs, which were essentially the Japanese equivalent of the various preview demo discs released in the West, although with a larger focus on being able to look up a catalog of all the games released for the GameCube up to that point. This particular version is from 2003 and contains playable demos for Sonic Adventure DX and Beautiful Joe, but also a timed GBA demo for WarioWare Inc. Mega Microgames. In one of the rare cases, a GBA game is emulated through software on the GameCube, with some other examples being a demo of Mario Pinball Land included in version 17 of the interactive multi-game demo disc. And of course, the resolution is pixel perfect compared to whatever is happening over on the Game Boy player. When the 3DS was first announced in E3 2010, one of the many ways the 3D effect was demoed at the show was through showing 3D trailers for then upcoming movies, with the promise that you would eventually be able to watch full 3D movies on the system. In the West, those plans never fully materialized outside of Nintendo Video and a few DreamWorks shorts, but in Japan, a few 3D animated movies were actually offered on the eShop. Titles that were released include Up, Wreck-It Ralph, Big Hero 6, The Lego Movie, and the Shaun the Sheep series. Mario vs. Donkey Kong Tipping Stars is now mostly notable for several weird facts, being programmed in HTML5 and JavaScript as a tech demo for the Nintendo Web Framework, enabling it to be ported to a web browser, and being the first and only first-party Nintendo game to support cross-buy between 2 platforms. So here's another weird fact. The game originally released as an eShop exclusive and later received a physical release outside of the US. But in Europe, it was only a download code in a physical case, resulting in one of the funniest 3DS box art ever produced. Only in Japan did the game actually receive a proper physical release with Wii U discs and 3DS game cards. And finally, later copies of the PAL version of Wii Sports added a prominent warning onto the cover, which says, use the wrist strap and keep a firm grip on the Wii remote. Now this is what I call environmental storytelling.